fam, it's your favorite girl JayShara coming back to you with yet another reaction video. Today's video that I'm going to be looking at comes from Family Guy, and this is top 10 of the most funny cutaways from Family Guy. So before I get into this video, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell, and follow me, your favorite girl, on Instagram at JayShara with an H at the end. Let's get into it.
For this list, we're paying tribute to what we believe are the funniest non sequiturs, tangents, and or interrupting scenes of Seth MacFarlane's hit animated sitcom, based on the setup, context, and punchline.
What was
only
that?
Covering the actual cutaway scenes, so TV spoofs fresh out of the Griffin family's television are ruled out. While the gags themselves are usually irrelevant to the main episode plot, the setup could have potential spoilers. Number 10, Will Smith's nice clean rap. After successfully winning over the popular kids, Stewie thinks that he's even better than Will Smith's nice clean rap. We then cut to the Fresh Prince himself in the recording booth laying down a lukewarm beat about good behavior.
Ooh, I respect women when I'm on a date. I take them to the park or maybe a museum and I only try to kiss them if they're ready. Woohoo!
The DVD commentary states that this cutaway was a jab at Will Smith's rap song Parents Just Don't Understand. You'd expect someone with Smith's comedic abilities to be a little less kid-friendly with his music. But to be fair, his early work wasn't like your typical vulgar rap numbers.
Wipe your shoes on the mat when you come in the house. Someone just clean that floor. Woohoo! Say what?
This gag just takes that fact to hilarious new levels, showing what would happen if he went full-on squeaky clean with his music. Number 9, Fire Trucks documentary on National Geographic. After answering an easy trivia question during game night, Peter counts his blessings that he watched a National Geographic special about fire trucks. We then cut to a small snippet from the aforementioned documentary, where we see a fire truck stalking an animal herd, not unlike a lion. Once it's found its meal, the truck protects it from savage ambulances hoping to snag a bite.
What?
The ambulances will have to wait their turn.
This gag is too ridiculous to not be funny, and it even has a follow-up near the end of the episode. Peter catches a fire truck stalking outside his house, but the truck shows him why it's the king of the emergency vehicles.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Number 8, Stubborn as a Mule. Once the Griffins arrive in Texas, Brian warns the family that
What is up
Texans
with
can
his
be as
hair?
stubborn as a mule.
Nope, sorry, Kevin Bacon wasn't in Footloose.
To emphasize his point, we're then shown a cutaway of a mule arguing with a friend, refusing to admit that Kevin Bacon was in 1984's Footloose even though he totally was. His friend tries to make him see reason, but the mule is not having any of it. He constantly blocks out the protest and ends the argument in the loudest way possible.
Everyone knows Kevin Bacon was a star of Footloose. It was a huge movie. He was the lead.
What?
Not only does the cutaway end hilariously, it's also relatable for anyone who's had to deal with that one jerk who can't stand being wrong about anything, facts or no facts. Number 7, Robert Loia at the airport.
But I've
What's worse than having to
been
wait
in the
in line?
musical,
How
which
about
is
waiting
crazy.
behind someone who's taking facts or no facts? Number 7, Robert Loia at the airport. What's worse than having to wait in line? How about waiting behind someone who's taking way too long at the check-in
That is
clerk?
so
May I
annoying.
have your name, please?
Robert Loia.
Can you spell that for me?
Certainly. That's Robert Loia. R as in Robert Loia. O as in, oh my god, it's Robert
No.
Loia.
Peter recalls a time when he was forced to experience this very scenario when he was stuck behind Robert Loia checking in at the airport. That doesn't sound so bad, except Robert agonizingly spells out his name with expressions about calling attention to himself.
T as in Tim. Look over there. It's Robert Loia. Space. L as in look. It's Robert Loia.
We can't say if Robert was really like this, but the situation is just too bizarre to not be funny, especially considering how frustrating going through an airport really
Bruh,
is. The
that
one
is
downside
so
is that
annoying.
we don't get to hear Robert finish spelling himself out.
Not okay.
Number 6, Stewie's relaxation spot. Before the Griffins head out for a relaxing weekend, Stewie thinks back to his personal favorite relaxation spot. We then immediately cut to the toddler dancing shirtless at a nightclub, surrounded by muscular, also shirtless men with high-energy music blasting through the speakers.
I know the guy that owns this place!
It's hard to tell what the major punchline of this gag is.
Right.
Is it poking fun at Stewie's ambiguous sexuality? Or
Right.
is it the fact that he finds relaxation in a crowded nightclub
Right.
with loud thumping music?
He letting loose, alright.
Either way,
That
it offers a
asshole.
short and funny look into how our favorite sociopathic baby unwinds after a long, stressful day of plotting and scheming. Number 5. Alan Rickman calls himself...
Booking.com has all kinds of stays. For those who love family resorts,
We ain't gonna
and
talk
for
about
those
that.
who...
Alan Rickman calls himself. While waiting for Cleveland, Peter remarks that his beer looks lonelier than Alan Rickman's answering machine. Immediately, we cut to said answering machine, where Alan Rickman calls himself for a few friendly reminders.
Oh my god.
Hello. You've reached Alan Rickman at 555.
That's kind of a good idea, though.
0222. Please leave a message
Okay.
at the beep.
It's sad that people are too scared to give Alan a call, but it's also hysterical to hear such simple memos to himself being spoken in his trademark steady, intimidating tone. Obviously, they couldn't get the real Alan to voice himself. It would have been a miracle if they could, but Alex Sulkin does a fairly impressive impersonation, right down to his mannerisms.
Alan, it's me again. Remember that turtle joke for the party?
If Alan were still alive today, we're sure he'd be flattered, or at least have a good chuckle. Number 4,
Damn.
Peter joining book club. Peter gets invited to Ryan Reynolds' housewarming party, and he believes it'll be way more fun than what usually happens on Friday nights at the Griffin home.
What's
It
gonna
turns
happen?
out that Friday is the night Lois hosts her book club meeting. She invites Peter to join them, he cheerfully says yes, and then gruesomely breaks his own neck.
Yeah, that sounds great. Anything beats what goes on at my house Friday nights. Hey, Lois, what's going on here?
Oh, it's my book club, Peter. Come, join us.
Oh, okay.
It's true that not everyone wants to be dragged into a book club.
What?
This is a bit of an overreaction on Peter's part. On the other hand, maybe he just doesn't want to relive his last book club meeting.
Here's another thing. The book can also be a hat.
Either way, that is definitely one graphically
He's
effective
insane.
method to escape an unwanted situation. Number 3, ladies and
think?
gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty. Whenever anyone, especially Peter, needs a quick distraction from an awkward moment, a poorly done joke, or to pad out the show, they call on a little help from the late Conway Twitty.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
Nice to see.
After those 6 little words, we cut to a short video of Mr. Twitty's musical performances, every now and then altered with photoshopped headwear for the musician.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Bieber.
While not always used gracefully, this has become one of Family Guy's most memorable running gags, and it definitely fulfills the need to create a diversion.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Conway Twitty.
I literally have no idea who this is.
There's no need.
His hair, his
It can also be
hairline.
seen as a funny tribute to the departed musician, though Mr. Twitty might not see it that way.
Conway Twitty says cut it out. Just write a joke.
Number 2, Peter's life, narrated by Peter. When Peter worries about Chris's new phase, Lois and Brian remind him of one of his own previous
What's his
stages,
phase?
when he spent 2 weeks narrating his own life.
I looked with a grimace at the questionable meal Lois had placed in front of me. Of course, I'd never tell her how disgusted I was with her cooking, but somehow I think she knew.
We then cut to this aggravating phase
That's
in
actually
action
funny.
as Peter narrates while eating dinner with Lois, only to hurt her feelings with some rather insensitive storytelling. Lois rightfully cleans his clock, only for him to wake up
Dang.
hours later and pick up where he left off.
I awoke several hours later in a daze.
Not only is it
knocked
humorous
him
to see
out.
Karma literally punch Peter in the face, it also shows that he's actually a fairly decent storyteller, if only he
Right.
could control his own words.
No, that's
Before we
excellent.
reveal our number 1 cutaway gag, here are some honorable mentions.
Oh, this is an even bigger jackpot than when the Emperor figured out the formula for great Star Wars dialogue.
Something, something, something. Dark side. Something, something, something complete.
Oh, man, Lois, all I gotta do is have a spiritual vision. I've had one before. Oh my God, Brian, there's a message in my alphabet. It says, ooh.
Peter, those are Cheerios. Well, this was a lot of effort for nothing. Like trying to tell Matthew McConaughey how much he sucks. You know, Matthew, I may not ever get another chance to say this, so I just want
Oh,
to
God.
get this off my chest. You are just awful. You're one of the worst actors in the history of film, and I think that you need to go away.
Oh, thanks, man. The truth is, I spend at least 90% of my year going away, exploring exotic places, having sex with my beautiful girlfriend, just doing sit-ups.
Number 1, Chester Cheetah's addiction. Out of all the food mascots, Chester Cheetah was arguably one of the coolest, until you gave him a handful of Cheetos. Then he was dangerously cheesy. When Stewie thinks himself cooler than Chester, we see a whole new side of our favorite cheetah. One that inhales Cheetos like cocaine and smashes his hand while listening to heavy rock.
Oh, God, there is no drummer better than Neil Peart!
It ain't easy being cheesy.
It's a prime example of one of the show's most hysterical cutaway gags, showing the dark side to our favorite cartoon or TV characters as they become more and more like rundown celebrities than fictional people. Proving that we really have lost those good old-fashioned values. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo and be sure to subscribe.
I don't know if I agree with that being like super duper funny. In my entire 30 years of living, I have never sat down to watch a full episode of Family Guy. And I know y'all gonna tell me that's something I need to do, but I feel like funny is funny. In those videos, like there were some where I laughed, but I wouldn't say like these were super funny clips. I don't know. So for the J-Bay who told me to react to this, this is your task right now. I need you to find me a better Family Guy video, or if this was not the exact cutaway video you wanted me to watch, drop the link down in the comment box and then I'll like copy and paste it and figure out what video it is, because I want to say that's the funniest. Like, and Family Guy's been around for a very long time, so I know there has to be other funnier clips from the show. So, but overall, not terrible, not the least enjoyable video I've ever watched, because I did say it was funny, but I feel like it could be better. So yeah, if you guys have any other videos from Family Guy or any other shows or entertainers or movies that you want me to react to, drop that down. Make it better than this so I can really give you all those deep belly laughs, because it just wasn't there. But if you enjoyed this reaction video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button as well, and that notification bell so you can stay updated with your favorite girls reaction videos. Other than that, follow me on Instagram at JayShara with an H at the end. You all know that I love you. You love yourself 10 times more. Have a beautiful day or night in this amazing, wonderful world. Ciao.